In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a custom dimension within Omni Analytics. We're going to start out with the Northwind workbook that we've created, and we're going to use the Northwind order details topic. Okay, to get started, let's take a look at the schema for the model to take a look at the dimensions and measures that are already created. So I'll select model layers in workbook. And if I go down to schema and select a view, what you'll notice is that inside of this view, I have the schema keyword, table name, dimensions, and measures. And with that, I have the metadata that gives me context about the view. Taking a look at the dimensions group here, I can see that I have the category ID field, which just references the category ID name. So this gives me that category ID column. And we ended up setting this as the primary key. So the primary keyword is equal to true. Okay. If we look at the measures here, by default, Omni creates a base measure, which is just a count of rows on the data set. Okay. And so we can see that under the measures group there. So if we go back to the model workbook and open up orders, we're going to create a custom dimension that's going to group these freight amounts. If we select freight, we'll notice that it's just a whole bunch of freight amounts. Okay, what we're going to want to do is classify these freight amounts. So that way we can get more context into the behavior of our operations. So I'm going to deselect freight, and I'm going to add field down to the bottom. Under field label, I'm going to name this freight group. Okay. In this SQL section, I can create SQL code that will allow me to create these groups. So I'm going to use the case when statement. So I'm going to say case when, and I'm going to reference the freight field from the Northwind orders dataset. So when this freight field is less than or equal to 53.8, then I'm going to go ahead and classify this as small. I'm going to go ahead and drop down another line. I'm going to say when this freight field is greater than 53.8 and 53.8 and this freight field is less than or equal to 96.2, then I want to classify this as medium. Else, I'm going to go ahead and classify it as large. Okay, I'm going to end it. So this is our case when statement, which essentially creates the freight group or freight classes. I'll go ahead and add that. And so now we have our freight group. And I can take a look at the distribution of orders for each freight group by just selecting the Northwind orders measure that's already created. And now we can see that most of our orders are going to the small freight group. Okay. So get a better understanding of what's happening with our orders. So that's how you create a custom dimension with an Omni Analytics.